anyone and everyone who has access to the internet can leave a review, right? Well, that's all fine and good, and you can always take it with a grain of salt. But what about when you're looking at a potential new place to live for you and your family, for you and a significant other, whatever it may be, whoever is in your unit? You want those reviews to be nothing but positive, right? Well, today we're actually checking out niche.com reviews of Charlottesville, Virginia. Let's see what they say. So the good news is, overall, we are getting a good, solid A. Now, let me pull this up so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. All right, so here we are, niche.com for Charlottesville. Now, here's what I do want to pepper this with before we delve into this. This is going to be Charlottesville specific. But the funny part about it is because Charlottesville is so intertwined with the other and outlying areas, Albemarle and such, that these have to be taken with a grain of salt. When you look at crime reports for the city of Charlottesville versus, say, for the county of Albemarle, you have to take things and remember where places are. So here we go. Good news is, overall, you're looking at it, we are coming in with a solid. So here we go, right over here. Overall, our grade is an A. Yay! But let's look at them, because, as you know, I have a filter, but sometimes it's lacking, and I want to go through some of these. I'm not just going to hit on the excellent ones. As you can see, the excellent and very good, obviously top, and that's what I would hope for. But let's actually review what they are saying so that we can talk about them. So the first one on here, let me put my eyes on here. All right, so first we'll actually start up with the first 5-star, okay? I mean, might as well start with the good stuff anyways. Okay, so we'll just go down the first couple here. Charlottesville is a beautiful place to live and raise a family. It has beautiful views and friendly people. I have come to know and love the area and the surrounding countryside. There is not much I would want to see changed. I like the small town aspect. It gives this little town a lot of charm. Oh, well, kudos. So delving into that one a little bit more. These are definitely a lot of the things that I talk about in my videos, and if you have not checked them out, please make sure you go check out the videos. But I mean, I'm honest. Charlottesville's not perfect. The surrounding county, not perfect. Looking at what they're talking about are definitely some of the things that I too highlight. Beautiful place to live. You can't argue with that. I mean, just no matter what and where, it's a beautiful place to live. It's a good place to raise a family. I absolutely agree, and I've said that before. I was raised here. And then my husband and I got married, and we actually moved back here. My husband's from Lynchburg, so we agreed that we wanted to raise our family here in Charlottesville, and I do not regret that at all. Now, my daughter, as soon as she could, she hightailed up to D.C., so again, it just is in context, but I do think it's a great place to raise a family. I love the surrounding area. There's not much I would want to see changed. I like the small town aspect. So that tells me instantly this is probably somebody who has lived in a much larger area, such as New York, DC, someplace that this truly would be considered small town. A lot of the folks who live in Charlottesville want to think this is a large metropolis, but really we're like this metropolitan small town. So the small town aspect I absolutely agree with, and then it gives it a lot of charm. That I agree with too. Next one up, Charlottesville is a welcoming town with lots going on. Absolutely. Great access to the outdoors. Charlottesville has been a great place to grow up and continue to learn and make friends in the area, along with the fact that a lot of the community knows one another. So hands down, the University of Virginia is going to be the largest draw, I would say, overall to our area. What they have found out are alumni from UVA actually have a high return rate here. Even if people have moved away, there's also a huge high rate for retirees to return here. So in that aspect, yeah, a lot of us do know each other. But going back to the first one right here, the very first one right here, I think we are friendly people overall. Now, I know there's always bad apples, but I think overall, let's delve down here to terrible, because you know that's always going to be good, right? Terrible! I have lived in Charlottesville for 47 years. What used to be a tight-knit, quaint, scenic little town has become an abandoned, vacant wasteland. It took years of abandonment and neglect of this historical place to be torn bit by bit. The area public schools used to be the best in the state. Now there's violence and rampant drug use. The administration acts as if they don't care or just gave up. Malls and stores are abandoned. Crime is the worst in 30 years. Homelessness is sky high. Government is a joke. There's nothing for children and families to do, but plenty of distilleries, breweries, and wineries though. Traffic is horrible any time of the day, and service at most stores that are still open is non-existent. Counting down the days to escape this hole. Well, first off, this is from 2 years ago. So I would say this is also in the midst of COVID. But obviously, this person has lived here 47 years. No offense to them, but I've got more time into Charlottesville than they do. And you know what? Everybody has an opinion, and this is why you have to take things with a grain of salt. Abandoned and vacant wasteland? Well, if that was the case, then quite honestly, they wouldn't be building new crap everywhere. Yes, I do agree. I wish that businesses would utilize current structures before they built new, but we're by far, and the rents for most commercial space is increasing as well. So there's not a whole lot. There's just not a whole lot. Schools. You know what? When I was in Albemarle County schools, when I went to Albemarle High School, a bunch of our kids went over and had a beef with Charlottesville High School, and there was a huge, out in the parking lot, inappropriate activities kind of thing. So that's nothing new either. Was it last year or the year before? There was some real issues with city of Charlottesville and the high school. They had some dissatisfaction, but that seems to have resolved. These students, there was a lot of issue, but again, I have not heard anything lately, and I know a lot of folks who either work at the school or have kids attending the school. Honestly, I still think our schools are fabulous. I just had one of my fabulous viewers ask me about several different schools. And again, I said the same thing to her as I say to you, which is, overall, I think our schools are fabulous. I have yet to meet anybody that comes to me and says, Pam, we have to sell this house immediately. We need to get into a different school district or a different school feed even. Everybody always wants to fight for the feed they're in. And because of new developments and new places, there are often, I would say at least every 3 years, redistricting. And man, it is mama bears against the administration because nobody wants to lose their school and go to a different school, even the people at the different school. So again, I think we have phenomenal schools. There are also options if you didn't care for a school, that we have soup to nuts for private schools. Okay, I'm getting off on a tangent. What's the next one? So, counting down to the days to escape this hole. Well, good luck. Thanks for being here. Wish you well. Nice community as a whole. Locals can be aggressive. Racist cops that look for anything to bust everyone. Racial profiling, unnecessarily high rent and mortgage here. Taxes are too high. Charges for rent application and you can be refused. and charge. Oh, but then they threw in a good thing is short commute, less traffic. So how funny. The second 1-star review says there's no traffic and no commute, whereas Mr. 47 years says it's constant traffic. I'm really sad to see that. And again, it's nice because, well, not nice to have this review, but this is from 2022. So, you know, obviously there was stuff going on. We were all dealing with COVID. Locals can be aggressive. I'm not real sure what that would be about. But we have Karens, and if your name is Karen, don't come after me. I mean, there's always crappy people everywhere. You can be in Vatican City, and there's going to be crappy people being cranky and telling you to get off their lawn. So I say, as a whole, as overall, that the community is very welcoming. Because honestly, what you have is, I would say you have 30% people who were born here, just born here. And then I would say you have another 30% that were raised here. So I was not born here. I was born in Michigan, but I grew up here, and I've been here since I was a wee little one. So I would say 30% born here, 30% raised here, and then the other 40% is going to be transplants. Whether they came here and they're here via the university, whether they came here to be closer to family, whether they came here to be farther away from family, you know, I don't judge. So there is a mixture, and I can't imagine that there would be shitty people that are just aggressive. Okay, and then the next one. Rent applications. They do charge for rent applications, and I do think that's sort of a scam, but I don't do rentals at all, so I don't know the in-depth. I know it takes personnel and it takes time, and those costs have to be covered. So if you come in and you're like, oh yeah, I have an 800 credit score and I make $800,000 a year, and then you submit a $50 application and they find out you have a 400 credit score and you are unemployed, you know what? They did their job. Their people who did that time and that due diligence did their job. You can't penalize them. And it's sort of like when I work with home inspectors, and I tell my clients who are buying, I say, if something should happen, the home inspector finds bodies in the basement, you can drop contract and you would get your earnest money back, but you will not be reimbursed by the home inspector. The home inspector is a third party. He did his job, and honestly, if you're dropping contract, he saved you from spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you can't penalize them for that. But if I was having to be applying at a lot of different places for rental, I know that's irritating, because I know it's like 35 to 50. I think the highest application for rentals I've seen has been 75, but again, I don't do rentals. The racial profiling, we've had a tumultuous history. Me and my friends and my extended family have not experienced this, but obviously we're not put in the same circumstances, and I can't really speak on that. I know this has been an issue in the past, and I know that the Charlottesville police has very specifically tried to address this. Unnecessary high rent and mortgage here. So rent is going to be demand. If there's demand and there's people willing to pay $2,500 for a 2-bedroom rental, that's what they're going to get. You're paying a mortgage, whether it's your own or whether it's your landlord's, but you're paying a mortgage with rent. And mortgages, well, the mortgages are high because, you know, your average house costs over $500,000 here. So unless you're one of the few fortunate that could pay via cash, that's going to be a mortgage that is probably, but see again, some of these mortgages, I just got somebody in, this is a perfect prime example. One of my clients, we have been searching for a home for her for over a year. And we have viewed and we have put in contracts, never been selected. because she's a lower end price point, but she just got accepted. I am so excited for her. But the best part about it, she texted me. She was like, oh my God, Pam, because she's actually doing a mortgage. She was like, my mortgage payment is going to be half of what my rent currently is. That is not uncommon. So again, it's going to be individually what you're looking at. All right, let's see if we can find something newer here. Let's go to Very Good. So this one's from just a couple of weeks ago. Woohoo! Charlottesville has the most diversity between restaurants I have witnessed. There's an upscale city. At least that's what it looked like as other parts of Virginia. Ooh, throwing shade on Virginia. You can find cheaper areas within the city if you know where to look. Amen, true that. Within and outside of the city are many breweries. Yes, I'm not a beer drinker. I'm a cider drinker, and not a beer drinker. The ones especially to note are the ones located on the countryside, off Highway 29, within the Blue Ridge Mountains. Amen. But you know what? There's some great ones in downtown Charlottesville, too. The largest problem with the city is the gentrification. There are stark differences between the upper class and lower class areas. Amen. There is no way that is absolutely true. The city of Charlottesville especially has a horrible history where they wiped out a predominantly African-American community called Vinegar Hill just so that they could eradicate it. And this has been like years and years and years ago. But yeah, it's still an issue. Gentrification. Many of these neighborhoods, one that comes to my mind is Belmont was a predominantly working class community. But when I was growing up here, if I was caught in Belmont, my father would make sure that I did not have access to get out of the house for quite a while. And now there are $1 million houses in Belmont. So it's something that happens anywhere and everywhere. But I do think Charlottesville, because especially with the university, so the university is downtown, but the university keeps expanding. Well, also there's a lot of neighborhoods that have been generational neighborhoods that are starting to be diminished because developers are coming in, because people are buying out a family home. There were Sears kit homes. All of those are being built or brought out. The gentrification is a real thing, and it's above my pay grade, but I would absolutely, honestly agree with it. Stark differences between the upper class and the lower class areas. I think there are certain places. I think there's more than just A or B. What I love about, well, it's not what I love about it, but what I see in Charlottesville area, in Albemarle County area, there actually are a lot of areas. This person they might be newer or I don't know. But there actually are quite a few of in-between areas. But there are still definitely some places where you can be there and you can definitely tell that it's a lower income, suppressed area. And then you drive into a neighborhood that, and I won't name names, but did tour of a couple of them. The lowest house price in there is like $1 million. So I can see that if you are coming at it, but overall, I think there are a lot of gray areas. All right, Charlottesville location is perfect. Just 2 hours south of DC, 1 hour west of Richmond, and 3 hours west of Virginia Beach. Lots of diverse options for food and around the city. Absolutely agree. Good Lord, my glasses are dirty. All right, let's pop down to poor. Let's see what they say. Ooh. Okay. So, good again. The closest says they're a former resident, and it's from 4 months ago. Seemed as if eyes were on us the entire time. I believe crime is on the way up. Car theft, house robbery, assault. It's very sad to see the downward turn of this place. Yes, I agree with this as well. Okay, not the first part. I don't know what this whole eyes on us the entire time was. That seems sort of weird. And I am sorry about that. Not that I'm the be-all do-all ambassador for Charlottesville, but that would suck. The crime way up. I think these crimes of convenience have gone up, unfortunately, I think that has been a situation with the economy and environment. People are wanting more money, needing stuff. So if a car is left unlocked, I think they're being rummaged through much more. House robberies. I haven't heard of house robberies being up. Assault, I've definitely heard of being up. But they have dealt with that also with having much more presence with the police in the areas of assault, such as on university streets, where you find a lot of students who are not paying attention. And so, yeah, they're an easy target for assault. Downtown mall, things like that. I agree. I think it's very sad, but I think it's unfortunately just something of our time and place that people do what they have to do. Do not try to raise children there. It would be a mistake. Ooh, ouch. Totally disagree with this one. I think overall, with our public schools, with the support of the community and different options for different after school activities and things like that, I absolutely disagree with raising a family. We often, and it's not just me, I mean, again, I raised my family here and I was raised here, but we often rank very highly on best places to live with your family. And people are often moving here because very specifically they want to raise their family here. So, see, this is why you have to, okay, for one, this is why you have to call me, because do not just rely on some random website or information. Check out my videos. I pretty much put everything out on the line. I share it with you, but reach out to me. Let me know. Ask me questions. You know, I am more than happy to speak on my experience and more than happy to give whatever information you can. But do not just rely on one or even two sites. And the fact is that this is a newer one too, because it's only 5 months ago. Keep it in perspective. Okay. So going back. So yes, I would say crimes of opportunity have gone up, but major crime has absolutely gone down. We've had some substantial nationwide major crime. Well, not major crime. I mean, we had several murders, not in 1 year, not one person, anything like that. But other than those, it's pretty limited. We do and have had shootings, but most of the time that is more a crime between people, like that know each other, not like somebody just walking along the downtown mall and shooting you. So, and I know, so check. Multiple websites. Call me, text me, email me. Let's see what it is. All right, let's look at average. All right, so what do we have here? Putting the eyes on. So 10 months ago, Charlottesville is a fairly segregated place in multiple ways. Thousands of Michelin star restaurants for billionaires with only 2 cheap options, or literal redlining. The city has become more and more polarized because of zoning laws and gentrification. No, I don't. No, I'm sorry. I do not see that at all, and that has never been an experience. With the mob of families entering the area from Richmond and Northern Virginia, people are discriminated against, are evicted from their gentrificational homes. It's disgusting. I agree that certain areas are getting gentrified. I absolutely agree with that. I would not say people are being evicted from their gentrificational homes. There's more to it than that. It's not like somebody can walk into your home, especially a home that is yours, paid for, and what has been in your family for generations and just be like, you're out of here. So I do not believe in that. The next one, me and my family visited a few months back. People were friendly enough and it was very clean, but I'm not sure, there was a vibe around the place like something was off. It was probably UVA student move-in weekend or a football game. Just kidding. Just kidding. I don't know what was off, but come back. Check us out. All right, so there you go. The website's here if you want to go and see it and peruse it. But the proof is in the pudding. Now, what the weird part is, the weird part is before it was excellent and very good, seemed to have more. But then when we got into the reviews, they seem to drop, all the numbers seem to drop down. So I don't know if it's because there's an aging out process. Anyways, look at it. Excellent, 103. 4 stars, which is very good, 109. Average, let's face it, who among us is fine with average? Seriously, that's 53. And then poor and terrible each come in at 14. But our overall score, 4 stars, an A rating. Keep it in mind, keep it in perspective. So call me, let me know how I can help you. I am a realtor in the Charlottesville area. I work in the entire area. So if there's any questions I can help for you, answer for you, direct you to, please let me know. It would be my honor and pleasure. And if you're thinking about living in Charlottesville, then definitely reach out and we can chat over a Zoom call and I can answer and guide you to as best possible. Otherwise, I will talk to you soon. I hope you have an amazing afternoon or morning or evening whenever you're watching me. I would love for your thumbs up if this was helpful at all. It gets brought to my attention. It's like, Pam, I saw online that people suck in Charlottesville and they kill small children. It's like, no, let's review this and let's be realistic about it. There's always going to be shocking reviews because somebody who lives in their mother's basement that's 60 years old and eating Doritos and sucking it down with a soda, that's what they do. I get them on my channel too. I get a lot of comments on my channel. But if there's something that you would love to contribute, I encourage you. Have at it. You know what? Charlottesville is not perfect, but overall, I think it's pretty darn awesome. And if we can make living in Charlottesville part of your future, I would love to chat with you about that. So until next time, talk to you soon. Bye.